Welcome to part 3 of my Kale CSP series thing, and this week is kites. So, how I trace the kite on the bottom is for edges I start with this edge and go clockwise, and then for corners I start with this corner and go clockwise. So the first case is kite. So I do this like normal. So for the top you start here and go clockwise for edges, and then corners go here and go clockwise, just like any other case. And then bottom, obviously. And then kite is different. If it's odd, then you're good to just do that and you'll be done with cube shape. But if it's even, then what you're gonna need to do is set it up to pon. So that's basically just like doing it. So what you're gonna do is like set it up like that, and then switch the parity like that. I mean, the inverse is literally just, there is no inverse. Next case is scallop kite. For scallop, I'm pretty sure you've seen this before. You start with this edge and go clockwise. Start with this corner, go clockwise. And for the bottom, obviously, just normal kite. For scallop kite, if you get even, then you're going to just do it normally. And then you don't have parity. No matter like how you do it, you can do it from the back if you want. And then if you're odd, then you're going to basically break up this L and then put it back together in a different way. So like that. So like basically instead of having these two pieces paired up, you're pairing up these two. So like that. And then just doing scallop kite like normal. Next case is barrel kite. And this is another weird case. So for barrel, for edges you start this top edge and go clockwise. And then for corners you start this corner and go clockwise. And then for the odd alg is just the normal alg, so like the 3 slice thing. And then the even alg is you bring it into pon and switch the parity just like you would normally. So like you'd start normally and then line up the fists, and then you have pon. By the way, the inverses of these cases should be pretty obvious since they're not like, they're all pretty different. Like the odd and even algs are different from each other. Next is shield kite. So for shield, you start with this edge and go clockwise, and then this corner and go clockwise. Pretty standard. And then this, so for the even alg, I basically remember it as fat kite versus skinny kite. So skinny kite is where there's like no edges here in front, and that's the odd alg. And then the even alg is when you have the pair in front and do it like that. And again, the inverse should be pretty obvious. It's just the same thing. And then, so next case is the pons. So for this pon with this corner is in front, remember that's how I do that. Remember the edges start here and then the corners start here. Go clockwise around. And the even alg, it's just normal. So if this corner is in front, then you're gonna do scallop kite in front. And if it's in back, and if it's odd, then you're gonna do it in back. For the inverse, I mean, it's just like line it up like this and then do it in front or back depending on what you would do. So if it's in front, do it in front, and if it's in back, do it in back. Next case is the pon with the corner in the back, so like this. And then again, start with this edge, go clockwise, start with this corner, go clockwise. You should then like know these by now. And then for the algs, this one is where it's in back, so this one goes in back if it's even, and if it's odd, then you build the scallop kite in front. So like if this was even, then I'd build it like that. And then for the mirror, you just do the same thing. So you bring it up and then build it in front or back, depending on how you want to do it. And then next case is one of my least favorite cases. Let's see. Yeah. So, yes. It's muffin kite. So, how you do the muffin is you have this pair of 3 in front, and then you start with this edge and back and go here, 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 and then obviously, and then for corners you start here and go clockwise. So the even alg for this, so how I do both of these is I pair up these 2 lines. So I build a shield barrel, and then the even alg, it's both algs, you're going to bring up one of these pairs and bring it to the middle. So the even alg, you're going to take this front pair and bring it up and bring it to the middle like that, and then you have shield, shield. And the odd alg, you're going to take this back and put it in the middle like that. For the inverse, so the inverse, you're going to do the same thing, except you're just going to pair it up like this, and then if it's even, use this pair, change that pair, and if it's odd, change this pair. And then there's 2 more, they're the fists, and then these are the, these cases aren't actually that bad, as in like tracing. So fists, no, just like normal, start here, go here, 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 and then here for edges, and then start here for corners. And then the even alg, so for kites, fists are just like opposite of normal. So if it's in front, so if this corner is in front, then the even alg is going to be building the scallop kite in back. So like if it was even here, then I would build the scallop kite, do the cube shape like that, so the scallop kite is built in back, versus building it in front like that. And then for the inverse, you just line it up like you would for tracing, and then pair it up with one of these pairs, and then build it in front or back, and it's not going to change parity. So build it in front for even, or for build it in back for even, and then in front for odd. So just like you would for the normal case. And then I just showed that one. So for this one, same thing. Start with this edge, go clockwise. Start with this corner, go clockwise. Pretty standard. And then the even alg, since the corner's in back, the even alg pairs up this scallop kite in front. So like that. And then the odd alg pairs it up in back. So for the mirror, again, just like the other case, you're just going to pair up the pair with an L like that, and then build it in front if it's odd, or if it's build it in front if it's even, and in back if it's odd, just like normal. So next week I'll be covering barrels, I think, and there might be one more, but I need to relook at my notes. But next week will be barrels, which are a little bit harder. So I'm going to release them a little bit earlier. So you might want to just try and get the kites down as best you can. Bye.